Well, good morning. Thank you for being here. This is our annual holiday travel press conference. My name is Valerie Wise. I'm the Air Service Manager with the Wichita Airport Authority. And joining me today is Keith Osborne, Federal Security Director with the TSA. And the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday seasons tend to be the busiest travel season of the year. And so we are going to offer some travel tips to help minimize your hassle factor and to help streamline the security screening process. Based on the loads that have been reported by the airlines so far, the busiest travel days will be Friday, tomorrow, and next Sunday, November 25th. And the lightest travel day will be on Thanksgiving Day. So if you do intend to travel, there are still seats available. Of course, we want to encourage you to arrive at the airport early. Particularly if your flight is between 6 or 7 in the morning. That is our busiest time of the day. Airlines would like you to arrive about 2 hours before your flight to allow you time to park and to get checked in at the ticket counter. The checkpoint does open at 4 a.m. and so you should have plenty of time to get to your gate on time. Be at your gate at least 30 minutes before departure. The ticket counters close 30 minutes before departure, and the airlines close the door 10 minutes before the flight leaves, so don't think that you're going to get on the flight if you get here less than 30 minutes before your flight. Now, to speed up the check-in process, you are encouraged to check in online up to 24 hours before your flight departs. This ensures that you have your boarding pass and the seat assignment, and if you're not checking bags, you can bypass the ticket counter and go directly through the checkpoint area. Also, make sure you have your contact information on the inside and the outside of your bag. Review your airline's bag policies online and the weight limits. Excess weight will cost you more. We do have a mobile website, flywichita.com, and we have up-to-date flight stats as well as pertinent travel information for your convenience. We do have free Wi-Fi throughout the terminal. Also, if you're picking up guests that are coming into town, we encourage you to use the cell phone lot. It's located just directly south of the park and ride lot, and you can park and wait there for free while your guests have arrived, picked up their bags, and they can call you, and in about a minute's time you'll be right in front of the terminal to pick them up. We also have the courtesy crew customer service representatives here on hand. Look for them in the red jackets. They are here to help you. And now I'm going to turn this over to Keith Osborne for the security tips.
Well, good morning and thank you for coming. As Valerie mentioned, the key to a smooth travel during this period coming up for the holidays would be to give yourself plenty of time for everything. Plenty of time to find a parking place, plenty of time to get to the ticket counter, plenty of time to get through security. As you're probably aware, over the summer we did add a 4th lane to the security checkpoint, so our capacity has increased, which has reduced the amount of time it does take, but the number of departures and seats between 6 and 7 in the morning, as Valerie mentioned, is very intense. There's about 700 seats that leave during that time frame, and so that is our busiest time. If you can get here and get in line for security an hour before departure, there will be no problem with you making your flight. Since the new lane has been added, seldom have our wait times exceeded 15 minutes, and they're usually less than 10. However, that's because people plan ahead and do not cut it that close. People will notice, not only here but at other airports around the country, some different security procedures this year. Probably the first one that folks will notice is the TSA pre-check program. This is where folks have provide additional information about themselves, and there are special lanes at about 30 airports across the country where that they go through a modified screening process. The x-ray is still a part of it, the walk-through metal detectors are still part of it, but there are certain things that they don't have to do if you're on part of the TSA pre-check program. Unfortunately, that service is not available here in Wichita. We've also modified security procedures for the individuals that are 12 and under, plus those that are 75 and older. There are certain procedures that they didn't have to follow, as in they don't have to remove their shoes, and we do modify the pat-down procedures, which still can happen, but the procedures make it much less likely those individuals would be subjected to the pat-down procedures. There's also a TSA program called TSA Cares, which an individual, if they have disabilities that make traveling or going through the checkpoint a little more challenging, they can call the TSA contact center and discuss their special needs that they may have. They will then be contacted directly either by an individual from their departing airport to help explain that process, or by someone at the TSA contact center that will help them understand the process and how to make that easy. For most of the passengers traveling through the checkpoint, a couple things I'd like to remind them of is, one, the 311 rule is still in effect. That means no container larger than 3.4 ounces. All those items have to fit inside a quart-sized Ziploc plastic bag, and we want that bag with those liquids, gels, and aerosols removed from the suitcase and placed in the bin independently. There are exempt liquids such as cough syrup, baby formula, those kind of things that do not count, do not have to fit inside of that quart-sized bag. We ask that those liquids also be removed from your carry-on bags. Also, when folks approach the checkpoint, to be prepared, you want to have your boarding pass and your government-issued ID out and ready to be inspected. We can read the electronic boarding passes that people may have on their phone. We have that capability here, so you don't have to have a paper boarding pass necessarily. Make sure that the boarding pass you present to us is departing from Wichita on the date you're flying, not your connecting flight. Otherwise, we may have to have you produce the correct boarding pass in order to allow you through the checkpoint. This year, we will also allow small snow globes to go through. Again, the globe itself should be about the size of a tennis ball, which would be less than the 3.4 ounces. That snow globe also has to fit in that single Ziploc quart-sized bag, but we will allow snow globes through if they're small and inside the bag. Food items that are solid can be taken through the checkpoint, sandwiches, those types of things. We would ask that if you're trying to hand carry a pie through there, that's probably better not to bring through the checkpoint, because it may meet the criteria for a liquid or gel. On the other hand, if it's a cake, those are usually not a problem taking through the checkpoint. The last thing I'd like to mention is for folks to make sure that they remember to remove their shoes if you're not 12 or under or over 75. That will also speed up the process, and removing your quart-sized bag will make it smoother for everyone if you can do that. And that's all I have to share. I'll be happy to entertain any questions.